Alright guys, hey, so we're now gonna do the reading for the full moon lunar eclipse, January 21st, 2019. First of all, Happy New Year. Yeah, the last solar eclipse, I put a nice photo on it, of it, I think it was in China or something like that. It's on Sidereal Revolution, the Facebook group page that we have. So anyway, I got my science project up again because we're gonna do the lunar eclipse now, full moon lunar eclipse. Okay, but before we do that, a few announcements. First of all, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you click the subscribe button and then the notification bell so you see when my new videos come out. And then if you have any questions or like what I'm saying, just comment below, and I usually answer them within a day or so. So yeah, and also it's been gaining momentum, our Facebook group, Sidereal Revolution. So you know, I'm always my science project's falling apart again. I'm always researching and discovering the truth of astrology and cosmology, and you know, and I'm always sharing little things that I find. So it's kind of cool to be interactive with that. So it's called Sidereal Revolution, and it's our Facebook group. And also always join the email list. We have an email list, and I'm always giving away free shit because I'm really generous. So, you know, join the email list. Go to siderealastrologist.com, and just a little window pops up. Join the email list, and yeah, that's that. All right, and you'll be getting like weekly emails from me. Let's see. Oh, another cool thing. I'm doing a few workshops. If you're in the Northeast, you know, maybe you can come to one of them, mainly in the north, like in the Capital Region District, because I'm in Saratoga. So on the 25th of January, I'm going to be at Jai Yoga. The 3rd of February, I'll be at Om Shanti Yoga. And on the 17th of February, in Burlington, Sacred Mountain. And in April 20th, it's a really cool store in Schuylerville, New York. And there's a workshop space upstairs. I'll be there. So the name of this workshop, the whole series that I'm doing, is called What's Ahead in the Sea of Stars for 2019, because that's what we're going to be getting into. There is a lot of energy. There's a whole big Saturn Pluto conjunction that's just going to be going on for like 2 years. So just imagine, you know, if you're approaching 30 or you passed 30 and you went through your Saturn return, you know, we all know what that is, right? Just imagine that for 2 years. And the whole series of 2019, the whole story behind 2019 is a systemized breakdown, like a total breakdown of all the systems that are just not serving anymore, just period. Which obviously we see, like the government and all these things like that, the way money is distributed or managed. Break it down all the way and then rebuild the right way that we see. So that's the whole theme, and that's 2 years, man. Let me see if I wrote my dates over here. I don't think I wrote them down. But I'm gonna do a whole video on the Saturn Pluto conjunction, because I think it ends like 2021 or something like that. Yeah, it's long. And so yeah, that's what this whole thing is about. Now, let's try to put my science project back, because I want to share with you the mechanics of the solar eclipse. I mean the lunar eclipse. Okay, I think we got this. Okay, so I don't know if you remember my last video, right? My friend, she actually emailed me. She said this is a desert stone, right? A desert rose. Yeah. Okay, cool. And then, you know, we got these little things. What are those things called? Whatever. That's my sun, and that's the moon. And we already went over the sun-moon relationship about the sizes. And if I go too fast, just go back to the last video. I explain it a lot more. But basically, I want to just explain to you that I'm under the study of the electric universe and also string theory, which basically, in a nutshell, says that the entire universe is one big, you know, plasma bubble of electricity, and everything is connected through strings, which is where we get the idea, you know, the model of string theory. I'm not sure if this is gonna make it, man. Let me try to flip this thing around because it looks like it's broken. All right, so and then, you know, that's why, like, a lot of mythology, you know, we have this thing right now, it's called the Great Cosmic Web. And a lot of, like, ancient cosmology, you always have the cosmic spider and that weaves a web, and there's always, like, the weaver of the web. That's, like, a lot in ancient cosmology, because it's like it models after the spider, which the spider has a web, and if anything touches that web, the spider can sense it, and the spider can even sense and fine-tune to figure out what kind of, you know, insect was stuck in the web. So that's what the model is. So basically, what creates an eclipse, or it's the path of the moon crossing with the path of the sun, the ecliptic, because there's a 5-degree difference in the travel. So that point where they hit, see, because it's an energy field, even though it's an invisible line, it's still traced with energy. So it's a powerful point. When they hit those points, those are called the nodes. All right. So when you get an eclipse, that means that the sun and the moon are lined up perfectly, and the earth. All right. And we might not make it. We're going to rush through this because this thing is not happening. Okay, so basically, we went over that. And look at my last video because I can't explain it more. But basically, when you have the lunar eclipse, you know, so basically a full moon looks like this. The sun shining on the moon, and the moon shining on the earth. So what happens now when we have the lunar eclipse, we have the earth directly in the middle, which is why we see the shadow on the moon, because it's the sun shining and the earth is in the way now, blocking sunlight to the moon, so the moon can't really reflect sunlight. So there's a block of masculine and feminine energy, mainly feminine energy, because the feminine is the reflector. The moon is the reflector of light. So that's the lunar eclipse, and they call this one like wolf blood moon, winter, whatever. I have no idea what all that means, because it's not scientific. It's just cool shit. Anyway, but it's blood because it's red, because it's the shadow and all this stuff. So that's that. Okay. So let me take this thing apart before it just bangs all around like before. All right, we got that done. See if I have anything else to say. No, that's it. Now we're going to move over to the screen share, and we're going to go over what the energy is going to be coming up for this next full moon lunar eclipse. All right, guys, I'll check you later. All right, guys. So yeah, I forgot an intro to mention, but you already know because you've probably been watching my videos for a while, that, you know, I practice Sidereal Astrology, which is the astrology that aligns with the actual constellations in the sky. So that being said, I like to always open up with my astronomy program. This is what I use to control my telescopes, because I do astronomy and astrophotography. So I just want to point out, make sure you know, that the moon is in Cancer. It's not, I didn't even know what Tropical was saying, because I'm doing this video kind of early, but they're probably saying it's going to be in Leo, but it's in Cancer. It's right there. Here I'm going to show you. Search for moon. Right, the target goes on moon. The constellation is Cancer, and you can see it's clearly in Cancer, the crab. We'll zoom out. We'll see Cancer. There's Leo right here, and Leo. How you can identify Leo in the sky? It's a backwards question mark. You see that backwards question mark? So you're gonna look up in the sky on the night of the full moon, and you're gonna look for that backwards question mark, and you're not gonna see a moon. Alright, and I think Tropical is probably gonna say it's in yeah, it's probably gonna say it's in Leo. That's not happening. Alright. But you can use Leo to identify how to find a moon, because, you know, I always like to teach you stargazing tips. Cancer is a tough constellation to find in the sky because it doesn't have any, it's not really that big, and it's no real bright stars to identify it. But you can see the moon is right there. Alright. how can you identify Cancer? Well, it sits right between Castor and Pollux, the twins, and Leo. So just look at that point, and you can hold your hand up like that, all right? And that's about like 25 or so degrees at arm's length. And so you go in between Leo, the backwards question mark, and the two stars of Castor and Pollux. You can identify them; they're pretty clear. So put your hand up like that, and right in the middle, you're gonna see Cancer, and that's where the moon is. All right. And if you need help finding Gemini, I always look for Orion, which is right here. And we can all find those three belt stars. It's slightly below. You can also find Taurus, but let's just stick with Orion. And right above Orion, you're going to see Gemini. So find the three belt stars. All right, now find this. This is Betelgeuse, the shoulder. Find that and just go straight up. And right in the ecliptic, because Orion is not in the ecliptic. Right? That's why it's not a zodiacal zodiac sign, right? It's not a zodiac sign. So right above Orion, Castor, Pollux, right? A little bit over the moon, a little bit east more, you're gonna see Leo, the backwards question mark. Okay, so that's the stargazing, tips that I'm gonna give you, so you can arm yourself. And you can identify on your own the constellation, so you can know the truth of astrology and true alignment. If you think that's important, I think it's important. All right, to be aligned accurately. All right, so I'm going to close this here. Now we have the chart up for December 21st. Oh, this is 2020. Hang on one second. Let me see if I have that here. There we go. Full moon, the 21st, 2019. I think 2020 was I was doing that Saturn Pluto report. So make another video on that. That's gonna be pretty crazy. Anyway, so yeah, I have the whole year of full moon, new moons here, because I'm doing that workshop series. What's ahead in the Sea of Stars. So So I'll look us through here. Let me just make sure everything is in place good. Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to walk us through here. So we can see the full moon. We can see the moon here is in Cancer, right? Which lines up with the stars, with the sky, because I showed you my astronomy program and it lines up. And you can see the node is also in Cancer, which when you see the node conjunct the moon, that means it's an eclipse. All right. Since it's a full moon, it's a lunar eclipse, because that's when the Earth comes in between the sun and the moon. So we can see that's in the North Node's in Cancer, which first I labeled this video. It's time to birth the new. All right, and we're gonna explain that. But first, North Node is direction. Cancer is cosmic birth. Cancer is related to the Egyptian Scarabaeus beetle, it's known as the cosmic mother, and it can birth without needing a partner. So it's like self-contained birth. So that's what we have going on where the moon is. It's my Saratoga water. But I always like to point out with the full moon what the sun is doing, because the moon reflects sunlight. And if I get savvy with my editing skills for this video, you're probably gonna see a picture right now of a photograph of a full moon. So it looks like daylight, but then you see stars, right? It's a pretty cool effect. I've done a few of those photos. I'll share that with you if I'm savvy enough at the same time. All right. But here we can see the sun is in Capricorn, all right, and it's conjunct the South Node, right, and then we can see all down here. We're going to read all of this over here. We're going to have Mercury, Pluto, Saturn is coming into a conjunction. It's starting its conjunction. So let's start with the sun. Right now I'm showing the sun is conjunct the South Node, and it's conjunct Mercury. All right. Sun is in Capricorn. South node is right on the cusp. It's like 29 degrees Sag, so it's like right in between Capricorn and Sagittarius. Mercury is in Sagittarius. What I'm reading this as is a accomplishment, achievement that has been done before. So we've done whatever these challenges are coming up. We've been through it before. We've done it before. We just have to remember. And why do I say remember? Is because Mercury is related to memory. The ancients they notice Mercury as a memory. That's why when Mercury goes retrograde or anything like that, everybody kind of goes kind of crazy, right? Because this is memory. This is the mind, memory. Okay, so there's something going on there. Let me just see what I wrote here for that. Yeah, so this is just basically memory. Now, one thing I want to point out is there's a few squares, and which is interesting. So basically, this is memory, and this is communication. Something that's been done in the past, but it's squaring up on Uranus, and Uranus is quick changes. And when Uranus and Mercury are together, that's communication, broadcasting. And it's an awakening, but it's broadcasted. But the thing is that it's square. It's square the moon. I mean, it's square the sun, and Mercury, and so basically Mercury Sun conjunct is squaring up on this Uranus. So what this is telling me is, like, I think this is the first challenge of the year, honestly, and it is showing up in the government. It's issues with getting the message across, because, like, Mercury is the messenger, right? The sun is the light. Uranus and Mercury together create technology, or higher level technology and communication. And there's a square, so already the first issue is the messages are just like challenging, which obviously we see because we have a government shutdown and we can't even figure it out. But I don't really get into politics, but it's already showing up, and that ties in to what I want to bring up for the climate for the entire 2019, which is a long conjunction process between Saturn right here and Pluto, which is I wrote here, long process of systemized structured breakdown. It's just 2 years of just like complete transformation, because Pluto is the transformer. Pluto only transforms once there's a complete death, and Saturn is the planet of death. It's the planet of death, time, resurrection, limitations, and structure. So those two together, complete wipeout, a total complete wipeout. So just brace yourself. A friend asked me, well, what does all this mean? And it was through text message, and I don't really like to do long text messages, so I was just like, brace for impact. But it's a slow impact. It's a slow, deep one. So that could make it actually easy and somewhat tolerable. So that's what's going on. It is all wisdom because it's in Sagittarius, so it's the wise application of the shaman's death and the phoenix rising. So that's what's up. The whole man, 2 years. Yeah. So let's just deal with that. All right. So I want to jump around and see what's happening here, because I like to always look at masculine, feminine. What's up? What's going on. So right here we see Venus conjunct Jupiter. Jupiter in the galactic center. It's conjunct the galactic center. Is it still conjunct? I think it is. Yeah. Oh no, it's not conjunct anymore. Alright, but it was conjunct. It's still 0 degrees Ophiuchus, so it's still dealing with this like kind of cosmic shaman energy. Because Ophiuchus is that 13th zodiac sign that we all work with. That's referred to as the cosmic shaman. So I always look at this as elixir. So what I'm seeing here, and I like to talk about like great stories in the sky, because you have Venus in Scorpio. That's like Venus Pluto. That's like, you know, feminine alchemy right there, man. That's like energy. It could be sexual energy, but it's definitely feminine goddess energy dealing with Jupiter. So what I wrote here is it's feminine alchemy and then optimism, right? So what the photo image I have in my head is the goddess, the feminine goddess, or the witch, or the good witch, is mixing a good brew like an elixir, right? And Jupiter is there making sure that it's like good, and it's a good, you know, optimistic energy charged brew, because it's going to be a strong one. And I forgot if there's a contact. Yeah, okay, yeah, there is. And there's a contact with Mars. You can see here there's a trine. Mars and so so there's that same thing. And I wrote here, this is good. You know, Mars and Venus are in good trine. Venus is making the mix, getting ready for the, you know, 2 battle, you know, that we're all facing. So feminine is doing her work and the masculine is doing his work, because, you know, masculine was doing all that healing work before. And just so you know, whenever I talk about masculine and feminine, it is the opposite. It's like masculine, you know, the woman, the feminine, and is the masculine, but it's also masculine and feminine within you. That brings up another story with a friend. You know, she said she was wondering if she should share some type of information to a guy, and it was you know, sensitive stuff. And I said, well, it depends. Is he a dude or is he a gentleman? And that kind of made her go, what's the difference? So there is a difference. You know, a dude can't handle a lot of feminine stuff. You know, boys don't cry. A gentleman is a balanced man. You know, he has the feminine, masculine balance, so he can handle, you know, feminine qualities, and he's mastered feminine qualities within him, which makes him a gentle man. Right? So that was just a little story I wanted to share with you. So whenever I talk about masculine and feminine, it's kind of both. It's like it's you, and then it's also related to the others. All right. So so just to make that clear, so there's a trine. You know, the brew. Let's see what I have here. Oh yeah, there's this Neptune, and I kind of wondering what's happening here. But Neptune is squaring up. You can see here Neptune is squaring up on Jupiter and this Venus conjunction. So I'm wondering if Neptune is like, you know, giving more like spiritual flow to this, being like, okay, let's like, you know, let's challenge you a little bit, make sure you have some, you know, even though you have to be of the world and making this brew, make sure, you know, this is like has some spiritual qualities to it. So I'm curious to see what shows up there with Neptune, because Neptune is kind of nebulous. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, I think that's a lot here. I also like to look to see what's up here. So Venus is opposing Alnitak. Alnitak is the belt star of Orion, and it's the one star above the nebula. So I just wrote, you know, King Orion is like, you know, having a relationship with the goddess Inanna, but then also Jupiter is the king of planets, right? So it's the king of planets. So there's some royal stuff going on over here, all right. And like we said, we got that North Node here in Cancer. It's new birth, cosmic birth. Let's see. I think it's everything that I wrote here. All right. I think we're good over here. So I hope you have a good full moon, and then remember, I'm gonna put out that the Saturn Pluto thing, because that's huge. 2 years, man. We're dealing with this. And any questions, you know, you can always contact me. But you know, subscribe, click the notification bell, comment below. You know, join the Facebook group, Sidereal Revolution. I'm going to put some information down below in the workshops that I'm doing. Hopefully you can visit me. And I'll see you soon. Alright guys.